Throughout history, humans have looked up at the sky and created stories to explain what they saw. Many of these stories became myths and misconceptions that people still believe today. Thanks to modern science and space exploration, we now know much more about our solar system. However, some old myths continue to spread, even though we have clear evidence that proves them wrong. Understanding these myths and learning the truth helps us appreciate how amazing our solar system really is. One of the most common myths is that the sun is yellow. When children draw pictures of the sun, they almost always use a yellow crayon. Many people believe this because the sun often appears yellow when we see it from Earth. However, the truth is that the sun is actually white. The reason it looks yellow to us is because of Earth's atmosphere. When sunlight passes through our atmosphere, blue light gets scattered more than other colors, leaving the warmer colors like yellow and orange to reach our eyes. If you were in space looking at the sun directly, you would see that it is actually white. Astronauts have confirmed this fact during their missions. Another widespread myth is that Mercury is the hottest planet because it is closest to the sun. While Mercury is indeed the closest planet to our star, it is not the hottest. That title belongs to Venus. The second planet from the sun. Mercury can reach temperatures of about 430 degrees Celsius during the day, but Venus is consistently hotter at around 460 degrees Celsius. The reason Venus is hotter is because of its extremely thick atmosphere, which is mostly carbon dioxide. This atmosphere creates a very strong greenhouse effect that traps heat. Mercury, on the other hand, has almost no atmosphere, so it cannot trap heat effectively. This means that while Mercury gets very hot during the day, it becomes extremely cold at night, dropping to minus 170 degrees Celsius. Many people believe that all planets in our solar system have the same number of moons as Earth, or that gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn only have a few moons. This is completely incorrect. Earth has only one moon, but other planets have very different numbers of moons. Mars has two small moons called Phobos and Deimos. Jupiter, the largest planet, has at least 79 known moons, including 4 large ones that were discovered by Galileo in 1610. Saturn has at least 82 moons, making it the planet with the most moons in our solar system. Even some dwarf planets like Pluto have moons. Scientists continue to discover new moons around the gas giants as our telescopes and space probes become more advanced. A persistent myth about Mars is that it is red hot because of its color. People see the reddish appearance of Mars and assume it must be a hot, fiery planet. In reality, Mars is quite cold. The average temperature on Mars is about minus 60 degrees Celsius, which is much colder than Earth. Mars appears red because its surface contains a lot of iron oxide, which is basically rust. This rusty dust covers much of the planet's surface and gives it the distinctive red color we see from Earth. Mars is actually sometimes called the red planet because of this color, but the red appearance has nothing to do with heat or fire. One of the most dangerous myths is that you can look directly at the sun through sunglasses or a telescope without special filters. This is extremely dangerous and can cause permanent eye damage or blindness. Regular sunglasses do not provide enough protection to look at the sun safely. Even looking at the sun for a few seconds without proper protection can damage your eyes. To observe the sun safely, you need special solar filters or eclipse glasses that block 99.999% of the sun's light. During solar eclipses, it is only safe to look directly at the sun during the brief moment of totality when the moon completely covers the sun's bright surface. Another common misconception is that asteroid belts are densely packed with rocks, making space travel through them very dangerous. This idea comes from science fiction movies that show spaceships dodging countless asteroids. In reality, the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter is mostly empty space. While there are thousands of asteroids in this region, they are spread out over such a huge area that the average distance between them is millions of kilometers. Spacecraft have traveled through the asteroid belt many times without any problems. The chances of hitting an asteroid are extremely small. Many people believe that black holes in our solar system could suddenly appear and swallow Earth. While black holes do exist in the universe, there are no black holes in our solar system, and none are close enough to affect us. The nearest known black hole is thousands of light years away from Earth. Even if there were a black hole in our solar system, it would not behave like a cosmic vacuum cleaner, sucking everything into it. Black holes only affect objects that come very close to them. If our sun were somehow replaced by a black hole of the same mass, Earth would continue to orbit normally, though it would be very cold and dark without the sun's light and heat. A popular myth suggests that the phases of the moon are caused by Earth's shadow falling on the moon. This confusion probably comes from mixing up lunar phases with lunar eclipses. The phases of the moon are actually caused by the moon's position relative to Earth and the sun. As the moon orbits Earth, we see different portions of its sunlit surface. When the moon is between Earth and the sun, we see very little of the sunlit side, creating a new moon. When Earth is between the moon and the sun, we see the entire sunlit side, creating a full moon. Earth's shadow only affects the moon during a lunar eclipse, which is a completely different and much rarer event. Some people believe that Saturn's rings are solid structures that you could walk on. This misconception might come from pictures that make the rings look like solid disks. In reality, Saturn's rings are made up of countless small pieces of ice and rock, ranging in size from tiny particles to chunks as large as houses. These particles orbit Saturn independently, creating the appearance of solid rings when viewed from a distance. The rings are also much thinner than they appear. If you could shrink them down to the size of a football field, they would be thinner than a sheet of paper. Another myth is that seasons on Earth are caused by our planet being closer to or farther from the sun. People who believe this think that summer happens when Earth is closest to the sun and winter when it is farthest away. However, seasons are actually caused by the tilt of Earth's axis. Our planet is tilted at about 23.5 degrees, which means that different parts of Earth receive different amounts of direct sunlight throughout the year. When the northern hemisphere is tilted toward the sun, it experiences summer, while the southern hemisphere experiences winter. Interestingly, Earth is actually closest to the sun in January and farthest in July. Many people think that meteors are hot when they reach Earth's surface. While meteors do heat up tremendously as they pass through our atmosphere due to friction, most of them are actually cold when they land. The outer surface gets very hot and may even melt, but the interior remains cold because the meteor passes through the atmosphere so quickly that heat does not have time to penetrate to the center. Meteorites that are found soon after they fall are often cold to the touch and may even have frost on them. There is also a myth that Venus is Earth's twin planet because they are similar in size. While Venus and Earth are indeed similar in size and mass, they are very different in almost every other way. Venus has a crushing atmosphere that is 90 times thicker than Earth's, surface temperatures hot enough to melt lead, and it rains sulfuric acid. The planet also rotates backwards compared to most other planets, and has days that are longer than its years. Venus is definitely not a place where humans could live. Understanding the truth about our solar system helps us appreciate the real wonders of space. The actual facts about planets, moons, and other celestial objects are often more fascinating than the myths. For example, Jupiter has a storm called the Great Red Spot that has been raging for at least 400 years and is larger than Earth. Saturn's moon Titan has lakes and rivers of liquid methane. Mars has the largest volcano in the solar system, called Olympus Mons, which is 3 times taller than Mount Everest. By learning the real science behind our solar system, we can better understand our place in the universe and continue to explore and discover new wonders. Space agencies around the world continue to send missions to planets and moons, and each mission teaches us something new. The more we learn, the more we realize how complex and amazing our solar system truly is. While myths and stories can be entertaining, the real facts about space are far more incredible than any fiction we could imagine.